Hi, everyone. How is everybody today? Thank you for tuning in. If you are new, please like and subscribe. If you are following, please like. And if you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe too. I've been off for a couple of weeks, exhausted from doing hair for the holidays at the salon and making a lot of videos, so podcast videos. So here I am, I'm back, and we've got such a good mystery. This is called the Bennington Triangle. So if you're just turning in, please like and subscribe my channel. Appreciate it. We're up to 22 now. We're just starting out, but we're excited to grow and continue to bring really fascinating stories. Welcome. Bennington Triangle is a 5 to 7 mile radius along a mountainside, which is the Glastonbury Mountain, I believe is what it's called. It's 5 to 7 miles, and there are multiple people who have gone missing in the 40s and 50s in that area. And we're going to talk about the 5 most publicized ones, but my research showed me that there were upwards of over 20 people who went missing. Just crazy, just vanished, just like that. So the Abenaki, the native tribe in that area, they do not like this area. The mountain itself, it's bad land. It's cursed. They feel a shapeshifter lives there. They feel like there's a bottomless pit. Their lore also describes a stone man that eats humans. And there is some lore reflective of Bigfoot, Sasquatch. They call him wild man, but it's more of a shapeshifter. It's kind of like the shapeshifter. It's an all-in-one thing, and it's although it's hairy and everything, it's more thin. So I don't know if that's an actual Bigfoot from the standards of what I've always researched Bigfoot to be, but Bigfoot is also assumed to be able to disappear on a dime. Shape-shifting, disappearing, I don't know, it all kind of seems to roll together to me. Let's see. It's called, the Abenaki refer to this mountain as the Forbidden Mountain. It's where they feel the 4 winds go there to die. And like I said, they do believe the wild man lives there, the stone man, the bottomless pit, and the shapeshifter. And they have nothing to do with it. And I can't say that I blame them to have such strong lore go down through your history of generations. Okay, so as I said, more than 20 people have disappeared. We're going to talk about 5. The first one is a gentleman called Mitty Rivers. Now, this is 1945. He is 74 years old. He was a hunter. He was actually, at the time of his disappearance, he was the head of a hunting party. So he knew the area well. He knew what he was doing. I'm turn this up a little bit. And so he had a hunting party. They were right behind him on this trail. Long trail is what it's called. He turned a corner and was gone. Just gone. And all the people behind him turned the corner and he wasn't there. And this is a matter of like seconds, like just gone off the face of the earth. Nothing left behind. There was no scent to find from the dogs. There were no clothing items. There were no guns or knives. I guess that what a hunter would carry with them in 45. There was just no tracks as well. No tracks, just gone. Absolutely gone. A year later, in 1946, a girl who was 18, she was a college student. Her name was Paula Jean Weldon, and she was a Bennington College student. She was last seen wearing a red coat. I guess she was supposed to join up with some friends, but she said, no, I just want to go home. And she ended up going home and getting her bright red coat, and she went to take a walk on the trail. Now, she ran into an elderly couple that she said hi. They saw her. I don't know if they said hi, but they saw her. She was directly in front of them. She turned a corner, and guess what? She's gone. Just disappeared. Gone. Now, her disappearance triggered Vermont to create the first state police. They didn't even have state police yet. Isn't that crazy? 46. God, it's just amazing to think. I mean, we just think everything is there for us at all times, all the time, but this is like the evolving part of the police department. So that's what her disappearance did trigger. They never found her. They couldn't hold on to any scent of her. from the dogs. She was never found. Unbelievable. In 1949, a gentleman named James Tedford decided to take the bus. This is in the Triangle. His neighbor saw him get on the bus. There were people on the bus who knew who he was. Everybody knew each other. He was on the bus the whole time. He was getting off on the very last stop of the bus, which was the Bennington stop. The bus driver let the last of the people before his stop off and then said he was still on the bus. And then they got to the stop and he wasn't on the bus. The bus driver says it never stopped. He never got off the bus. He never got off the bus at any other place. His money, his ticket, his suitcase, all the items he had with him were sitting on the seat on the bus, and he was just gone like a blink. So that's a little different. Now, James was 68. Then in 1950, 1 year later, Paul Jepson, who's an 8-year-old little boy, his mother was tending to the pigs that they had. She was getting them fed. She saw Paul playing. He was very close by to her. And this is in the Triangle again, where they had their property. And she looked up, he was gone, never to be seen again in a matter of seconds. It wasn't even minutes. From what I understand, it was just seconds. There's not too much research on Paul Jepson. He was playing, he was happy, she was working, she looked up, he was gone. They did bring in dogs. There was a scent, it didn't go anywhere. It just was nowhere. Well, I guess the scent did take him to like the main road and then it was gone. And then there are some, thoughts on that car. If a car pulled up, I guess your scent would definitely disappear on the main road right there. Yeah, it's just crazy. And then also again in 1950, Frida Langer, she was 53. She fell into the water. She was with her cousin and she fell into the water and she said, I'm going back to the campsite. They were camping. I'm going back to the campsite. I just want to get changed. I'll be right back. She never came back, went missing. By this time, they had like a full party, just massive amounts of people looking for her. She was found. Her body was found 7 months later. The condition did not allow for them to know how she died. I don't know where in the Triangle she was found. She disappeared in the Triangle. I don't know where she was found. There's very little information about that as well, but her body was found. So what do y'all think? We got 3 ways this can go. This is either like true crime serial killer stuff. We've got paranormal dimensional stuff, and we possibly have another way. Apparently, the geography is very strange. Compasses go crazy. They lose directions. They spin. People have said they've lost hours being in this area. They feel watched. Sudden bouts areas, like you'll be walking along and there's like birds and whatever, and then all of a sudden you'll just hit a step, take a step, and you're like in this bubble of silence. This has been repeatedly reported over and over. A sense of walking through a door. There's also, in addition to dips of temperature, which I said, there's also a strong infrasound. Now, infrasound is the megahertz frequency. This infrasound is a low frequency at 20 MZ. 20 MZ, I'm sorry, HZ. What did I call it? Megahertz? It's, I think, just hertz. I'll have to look that up. Now I'm questioning what that is. But it's the sound frequency. So it would be hertz. So we can hear from 20 to 20,000. So this is measured at 20, which is very low. And apparently this can cause really strange things to happen to people when they are in an environment with a frequency that low. You can run blindly. You can lose direction very easily. You can abandon gear and panic and run, walk off the trail, lose directions, be compelled to flee. These are all symptoms of this. So there's your triangle. So it could be also the sound frequency can make you kind of go bonkers and run in the woods. Like I have vertigo and I've had lifelong ear problems with vertigo and all of it that comes along with an ear that you can possibly imagine. And I could see some sort of frequency literally messing somebody's mind up. I really could tolerate the notion of that happening. There was nobody else that went missing after the 50s except for one person in 2008. It was a student. The student was found, though, alive. Apparently, he lost this, or I don't know if it was a he or she. The student just lost their way. And I'm thinking it might have hit that frequency where it gets very debilitating and confusing. So, what I thought we would do is I've got my lights here. I've already brought them in, they're standing by. I thought we would talk to them and see if we can get more clarification on what's going on. Maybe it's a combination of all these different points that we've talked about, but the whole thing is just incredibly fascinating. And I don't know if I said this is in Vermont. Okay. All right. So lights, I know they're here. I can feel they're going bonkers. Okay. So lights, the Bennington Triangle. Was the Bennington Triangle due to a serial killer? Yes. Okay. Was James Tedford a part of the serial killer in Bennington Triangle? No. So James Tedford is the gentleman that disappeared off the bus, all his belongings left behind. Did the bus driver stop and let him off on a different bus stop than he admitted to? Okay. So I'm trying to find out how James Tedford disappeared off of a moving bus. Was he forced off the bus by another person? Did James Tedford and the bus driver possibly encounter the 20 Hz frequency and maybe lose their mind a little bit? No. Did James Tedford exit the bus on his own? Did James Tedford disappear? Did he disappear off the bus by abduction? This is the only other thing I can think of. Did James Tedford disappear off the bus dimensionally? Did the bus go through a dimension and he disappeared? It says yes. All right. So were the other four that I talked about, we have Frida Langer, which they found her body. We have Paul Jepson, who was an 8-year-old boy. We have Paula Jean Weldon, who was an 18-year-old student, and Mitty Rivers, who was very familiar with being on the land, and he was in his 70s. Did those four people, did they succumb to the serial killer? Yes. So the other 20 plus people that have disappeared during that time period, was that because of the serial killer? Yes. So there was a serial killer, but not for James Tedford. I don't know what to do about James Tedford, how to find more information about him. Well, this is fascinating. Now I won't be able to sleep tonight. I'm going to have to do more research on this gentleman, James Tedford, and see what we can possibly come up with. It's crazy. All right, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this short episode, and I hope you'll stick with me as I grow. Have a wonderful afternoon, and we will see you again very soon. Yeah, tomorrow we have Bethany, our astrologer at pollenandstardust.com. She's going to be joining tomorrow. We are actually going to be talking to Ivana Trump. So that's going to be pretty interesting. All right, so y'all have a good day.